What's up, you guys? It's Luna back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I would make a beat for the Dreamville album Revenge of the Dreamers 3. My reference track for this one's going to be Under the Sun. It's a really good track. It's a really good song if you haven't heard it. They use an old like soul sample, maybe like a gospel sample, kind of chop it up for the intro, and then really get some more complex patterns with the chops. When they get into the verse, and then they throw some hard ass trap drums over it. Yeah, so make sure you guys like and subscribe and comment, what you think I should do for my next video. Alright, y'all, so I'm going to be doing my chops a little bit differently today. As you can see, I actually dragged the full sample into the playlist. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to listen to the whole thing and see which sections I like, so that I can re-record them and drag them into Slice X. Alright, y'all, so I took the sections I want. All I did there was I used the cut tool and listened to the sections that sound good to me in the sample. It doesn't have to be exact at all, because you're gonna make it exact whenever you edit the chops in Slice X. Oh, also you want to make sure that there's like little space in between each chop right here, if you can see that. So now I'm just gonna record this all into Edison real quick. Alright, so now that we've got that all recorded into Edison, there is one thing we have to do in Edison. When you record things from the playlist, it's going to loop back on itself. That's why there's two little markers here. All you got to do to get rid of that last little area is hit left arrow, and then delete. And there you go, you're good. Alright, so now that we've got that recorded into Edison, the next thing we want to do is we want to drag our sample into Slice X. And then before you do anything, you want to kind of cut off these little beginning. You want to make sure everything's on beat. Like when you hit the key, the sample plays on beat, like on the downbeat. So you want to trim off the fat pretty much. Okay, so like right there. Delete. We'll zoom in. Yeah, and that one's perfect. And then the reason I left those spaces is so you could easily differentiate between the chops that you cut up. So you can do that for every single one of them. Okay, so a way that you guys can get your chops to hit right on beat, a little more exact when you're using Slice X, is drag the section that you want to use, and then and press loop and press play. You see how you can hear like where it hits perfectly, and then you just drag this side over to get it to start at the right point. So since you want this section, you go ahead and go over here and then drag over here, and then just delete that area over there. And then I don't really want to use the end of this part, so I'm just going to delete that as well. And you just do the opposite with that, really. So we've got that, boom, drag that over, delete it. And this section is perfect right here. So I went ahead and trimmed down all these sections, and then all we want to do now is go ahead and remove all these little quiet spaces that we purposely put in the playlist. And that's fine to delete that. Alright, so now that we've deleted all the quiet areas, what we want to do now is go over here to the auto slicing tool, and then right click and medium auto slicing. And that's usually what I use for my chops right there. So alright, you guys, so I usually don't like what the medium auto slicing gives me for my chops. So you want to spend about, if you want your beat to sound really good and unique, you want to spend about 30 minutes just going through this whole section and moving around these markers. So I already went ahead and did that, but you can kind of hear how I'm gonna mess up this chop purposely and show you how I fix it. So I'm gonna move this marker over and put it on. You always want to put it on loop when you're fixing a chop. Put it on loop. So now that sounds perfect. And then also when you're playing your chop, you can use the arrow keys to move between them seamlessly without having to do all these extra steps, so you can easily edit them. actually show you how I did all that right now. Okay guys, so when you have a lot of chops like this, and you're laying out your pattern in the piano roll, it can get kind of unorganized and you don't really know where everything is. You can get lost. So a good trick to use is whenever you're in Slice X, you've got kind of sections here, and I already did the first two, so this is going to be the intro. Not the intro of the song, but the intro of the sample. I don't know why it's not playing. So that's the intro section, and then since this is a different section of the song, you go over here, and that's your verse. So you want to rename those markers. And then here's going to be the chorus. So since this is the beginning of the chorus, which is going to be our main chops, you're going to right-click on the marker, rename, and then it's not showing up on my screen for some reason, but right-click on the marker, hit rename, and then you want to rename this one to chorus. So you see now that this one says chorus, and whenever you go over to your piano roll, they're all split up. So intro, verse, chorus. guys, well, there you have it. There's like the soul sample trap type beat. My bad for not talking so much towards the end of the video. I got really focused into the beat. Some of the things in this beat took like 30 minutes, like just laying out the patterns, messing out with the chops. It took like 30 minutes. So when you're making a beat like this, don't get discouraged. Just keep at it till you find something that sounds good. Yeah, thanks for watching the video, y'all. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment what you think I should do next.